best of 5, but Lust was just taken out so many times.
Yeah, Lust did really struggle there. None of the character picks really extended Lust stocks the way that they were looking for, and unfortunately that means they go home with the 3rd place finish in 2v2s for the mid-season championship. But like we were saying, Goddess and Shadoww are going to move on up into the grand finals to fight Kyler, Alice, and Rite, who have already banned out all their maps, and we're just going to jump right on into this. No surprises on the character picks. We've got the Gruagok, we've got the Thor, we've got the Macho Man, and we've got the Wushang for Goddess.
And we're going over to the Great Hall for our first set of the day. Kyler coming in with the axe and hammer. Rite coming in with this hammer. I have to think that this is going to benefit the red team more than the blue. I think it doesn't totally not benefit the blue team. Obviously, Shadoww has the axe already, but I think the benefit here is more for the red team than blue. But it also could come down to comfortability of who is the most comfortable on this very strange stage.
Yeah, it's definitely not a map that North Americans are very used to playing. Of course, you'll run into it in ranked, but it's definitely not one that gets picked a lot in tournament play. Of course, vertical knockouts are going to be incredibly difficult to achieve on this map, unless you're at the bottom, where Shadoww is landing these down airs. Goddess finds the side signature to take out Rite on the left side, and puts some damage onto the teammate just for help as the side air finishes off Kyler Alice.
Now, Shadoww and Goddess came into top 8 on the loser's side of the bracket. I'm just checking to see who sent them down. It was and Jimothy.
Okay.
Who then lost 3-0 to Kyler and Rite.
Ground pound. Maybe just an off day for Goddess and Shadoww, or an off set for Goddess and Shadoww, but either way, they've earned their spot here in the grand finals. They've definitely shaken off whatever happened prior to top 8 of things. Kyler Alice, though, does find a nice neutral there, getting some good damage out. Shadoww, only one still on the first stock, as looks like Shadow's going to put Rite down to their final stock.
Saw that ground pound coming out from Rite. That is not the best option anymore when you've blown everything, because you're not going to be able to ground pound stall like you used to, but trading 2 for 1, and that's going to be the red team evening this game up, keeping it relatively even between these two. Kyler's a little bit more damage than everyone else, but that's basically negligible.
Becoming less so as Kyler Alice does get caught by that neutral signature from Shadoww. Good spot dodge from Rite, but he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and finds the neutral light onto Kyler Alice. Left side, Goddess going to find the gravity cancel down light. Extra side airs. Rite can't get the wall touch. Rite's out of there, and Kyler Alice going to join him and now be on his final stop.
So from Goddess, we've seen a gravity cancel D-Sig. We've seen 2 gravity cancel D-Lights, all 3 of which are not like above the stage or anywhere near the stage, but over on the left edge. Does Goddess have the kookiest edge guards in all of Australia?
Dude, it's awesome to see different usage of the kit, right? Like, we're used to seeing a lot of people play spear edge guards a very specific way, maybe a little bit more side air heavy, maybe a little bit more spear ground pound heavy, but Goddess's ability to throw in those downlights is really throwing some people for a loop. That's so cool to see.
Man, that recovery was so close to knocking out. That high ceiling is going to be no match for Shadow's neutral signature on that lance. 4 KOs, 578 damage for Shadoww, putting up some big numbers for that game. Already moving on into the next one, leaving Great Hall open, and Shadoww and Goddess are going to choose that one again.
Yeah, they're thinking that game 1 was a fluke. They know what to do to change it up. And it seems like the answer is going to be Rite needs to put out more damage. We've got stuck just under 300, but we'll see if the end result is what happens as we get right on into this next one. Rite going to charge forward and pick up the opposing team's hammer.
Ooh, went for the stomp D-Sig. The Taros option that not a lot of people go for, which is a little bit strange.
Yeah, I think people kind of forget that's an option because it's not something that like most hammer characters have.
Ooh, side signature.
Nice pickup with the side signature from Rite, and immediately target swapping over to Goddess. That seems to be the red team's game plan, is they'll launch one of the opponents and then try to get any extra damage 1v2 onto the opponents.
That was a big side air from Kyler, sending both members of the blue team over onto the left side. Shadow's able to get back. Goddess is able to get back, but she's going to eat another side air, still from Kyler, but this time from the axe. And there's another side air, this time from Rite's orb, that he follows up with a ground pound for the knockout.
Fantastic positioning from Rite to find that ground pound, but gets caught at the top of the map on the respawn from Shadoww. and that is going to get this one closer to even, but Kyler Alice still very healthy on his first
and he
stock.
is putting out that damage, hitting his axe jutsu here, sidelight into the side air, sending Shadoww into the orange on the right side, continuing with a weapon toss, goes over to Goddess, then goes back over to Shadoww, stops side air. Dude, Kyler's going off this game.
Yeah, man, he has found the solution, has figured out what he needs to do. Left side, Rite's going to find another ground pound onto Goddess, but Goddess with an air onto the teammate, but that was just what their team needed as both of them able to make it back up. Rite finds the side sig, Goddess finds a recovery, but it's still not enough to finish off the tanky Thor. That recovery will do it.
Kyler alone here, goes over to that weapon spawn. Shadoww grabs it right out of the air. One comes over to the right side high. Oh no, Goddess just going off of the edge. That's
the homie
Not
stock.
a good look this late in the bracket. That is very unfortunate.
Homie jutsu.
I don't think that's one. The house jutsu was reaching. I don't think there's a homie jutsu. I'm only like 4 episodes into Naruto. I don't think that's one of them.
Guy Sensei comes out with the homie jutsu. You see Rite, though, finding the sidelight side air with the orb. Nice neutral signature pickup from Goddess onto both red team members. Can't quite find the connection with the side lights, but is still putting out some good damage onto this red team. Blue team might be behind, but they could find their footing as Kyler Alice takes it all away with the hammer play.
No, Shadoww just hit the down air into Rite. That hit right into Kyler's neutral light. Shadoww trying desperately to fight this back. Hits the neutral signature and the side signature. Shadow's going crazy.
Hope and a prayer. Shadoww finds the wall. Is going to be able to extend this stock, but again, there's a stock behind this one for Kyler Alice. The ceiling very high. The walls are closer. Kyler Alice finds the side air, and that's going to be a game going the way of Kyler Alice and Rite, 1 apiece.
642 damage from Kyler, man. Mid 600s. That's huge from him. Incredible work from Kyler. Great work from Rite as well. Crystal Temple.
Think about what would have happened if Goddess didn't.
Yeah,
homie
absolutely. That is super unfortunate to see. Like you never want to see it happen like that. Kyler Alice and Rite did the smart thing and just went for it and just kept going. Take the W, get your bag.
Yeah, I mean, you take those, right? Like, if an opponent DCs, you take that W. This is grand finals, and we are in it in game number 3. No Great Halls this time. It's going to be Apocalypse as the characters retain their roles. Goddess going to be sticking with Wushang over on the right side, finds a sider, and then target swaps over to Kyler Alice.
2 hammers on the field for the red team. Goddess doesn't have too much range with these gauntlets. Shadoww at least has the lance in his hands. And have some decent range. Oh, Shadoww with a big down air and a ground pound. In comes Kyler, misses the dare, and Rite.
Oh, where are you going?
Under, has the dodge.
Nice.
But he's going to have to use it to get back, and Shadoww hits an easy ground pound.
Fantastic positioning from Shadoww, rotating over to the right side. You saw the commit from Goddess, and it forced Rite over to that right side, and Shadoww was like, I'm going to be right here. Kyler Alice was not able to lock up Shadoww and deny the opportunity. That's going to give the blue team that stock advantage.
Now, even though we see that, Goddess obviously just getting taken out. Shadoww also very much in the red, and we're seeing from Kyler what we saw before. He's orange. He's really not even worried about anything right now. Coming in with the neutral light into
Shadoww.
The chase dodge side light. Rite. Oh, what is going on with Rite? He is just getting demolished by Shadoww.
I mean, that wasn't even Shadoww demolishing him as much as that was Rite overcommitting just a little bit, gave the chase dodge up and not keeping track of his jumps to reset, and then Rite ends up falling. Kyler Alice going to finally lose his first stock, and the blue team has the small advantage, but that side sig almost took out Goddess.
It's tough to look in the top right and see Rite already on the final stock. At least Goddess is going to meet him there after that pinball.
What a reaction from Kyler Alice to find the turnaround side air and take out Goddess. Finding more side airs. Goddess with a stage spike on the right. Whoa, what? She's just stolen that! She just did that! She's crazy!
How? In what world can Goddess...
He becomes a lightning bolt, bro!
In what world can Goddess find priority there?
He becomes lightning itself. She snatched it, put it in a bottle, and then threw it off a cliff. 1 stock left for the red team, and 1 stock apiece on the blue team.
Is Goddess the Raikage? The Lightning Shadow?
What?
That's the Lightning Shadow.
Yo, go with like Chidori at least, man.
I don't know what that means.
But nice neutral air. Yeah, you're only 4 episodes in. Neutral air coming out from Goddess. Kyler Alice does find a good hit, and Kyler Alice really trying to play this 1v2 as best he can. Staying relatively even in the health, but of course, again, traits not in the solo player's favor.
Pretty good though. Has the blue team decently split. Now they're able to group up as Kyler's over on the wall. But again, Shadoww running all the way over to the left side of the stage. The D-Sync coming in.
Nice punish.
Goddess isn't able to get the full read. Man, that was close. Oh, he's done.
Almost got it. Neutral Sig will do it though for Shadoww and Goddess, and that puts them 1 away from getting that spicy reset.
Oh, right. 260 damage. Oh, that just hurts to look at.
Yeah, that was tough for Rite.
A complete non-issue.
You're gonna see Rite immediately ban out Apocalypse and Crystal Temple, 2 relatively similar maps in the fact that they're small, short-walled maps, and of course we're gonna get a slightly bigger map to play on, as it's gonna be Great Hall for game number 4. Kyler Alice changing up the skin game, the Yeti skin that you can only get from buying a Yeti from Yeti.
I don't think you bought a Yeti. That was just like the brand.
No, you buy a tea from Yeti. There you go. I was like, I know their name's wordplay in there. Where is it? Nice stomp. Neutral signature. Shadoww fortunately has the lance at hand, but gets caught by the explosion from the down sig from Rite.
Oh no, Shadoww and Goddess were both just a little bit over around the corner. If they were just on the normal stage, that would have been a stomp side air on both players. That would have been huge for Kyler. Gets the down light into the neutral heavy. Gravity cancel neutral signature from Shadoww, but he hits Kyler Alice, who's hardly damaged whatsoever.
Yeah, that neutral signature made me realize Kyler Alice basically hasn't taken any damage but that neutral signature. On this left side, Rite playing a very aggressive edge guard again, forced to rotate Shadoww. Does he have the speed? Doesn't need it. Rite's gonna fall again.
Stop going to the other side of the stage. It's not working, man.
No, he had to respect Goddess.
It's not working.
Last time he challenged Goddess, Goddess just snapped him out of the lightning bolt. So he's like, all right, not messing with that. I'm going to the other side. Again, blue team gets stuck on these walls though.
Weapon toss, bounce pass off the wall. Rite and Shadoww over on the edge. Rite disengaging. Shadoww starts using those rising nairs. Oh,
nice.
Shadoww knocking out. Getting that stock from Rite. Rite again on his final stock before anyone else in the game. Look at his teammate. Kyler's still on his first. How does this man not take damage?
The blue team is just destroying Rite though. Going for the downlight. Kyler Alice finds positioning just in time to take out the stock of Goddess. This is still doable on either side, as like you said, Kyler Alice just taking next to no damage. Finds the side air. Shadoww and Goddess down to their final stocks.
It's 2 minutes in this game and Kyler's still not dead. Everybody's on their final stock.
I mean, like, 50% of the stocks were taken like off stage, and Kyler Alice is just playing a fantastic neutral game. He's not even messing with that off stage. Big recovery, still not enough. All right.
Shut down.
And a ground pound. Rite is out of there. Kyler Alice has to play the 1v2 or else face the wrath of a reset. There's the weapon spawn at the top. Shadoww with a little extra damage with that neutral air.
Goes for the sidelight side air.
I don't think trades are going to be in their favor.
Yeah, the punish game is going to have to be solid because Kyler has so much room to work with.
Because Kyler Alice has this extra stock, I don't think the blue team's in a position where they can just stack up and just hit each other and it'll work out in their favor. And they're doing a really good job of not really hitting each other. There's been next to no team damage in the 1v2. Going off stage again. Risky plays from Goddess. Nice recovery. Getting more damage put out onto Kyler Alice.
Oh!
Down sigs on both sides of the map.
2 great dodges from Kyler. Does end up falling, and he wasn't actually able to put out hardly any damage. These like singular axe swings from Shadoww have been really good. Couple that with just like the general pressure that Goddess is putting on. and you have a reasonably strong 2v1.
You saw how far that side air sent Goddess. There's the possibility for Kyler Alice to do this. I almost want to see him swap over to the hammer for the potential. If he finds just a random stomp, it'll be enough, but might not even need it at this point as the down sig does it. A great spot dodge inside of the down air, and 736 damage put out by Kyler Alice.
Bro. Now, Kyler tweeted earlier that Rite was carrying him throughout the tournament. Just based on what we've seen, that is definitely not true. We don't know what happened earlier in bracket, but for right now, Kyler is the carry for sure. Not just a regular carry, he's a hyper carry in this game.
No. It's like those like parental meme pictures that they post where it's like, I carry you now so that when I get old, you carry me later, right? That's what's happening right now. Is that Rite carried Kyler Alice to the grand finals so that Kyler Alice could rest his feet and come in fresh as a daisy in the grand finals. And Kyler Alice is like, all right, you got me here. I'm going to carry you the rest of the way. That final meter in this marathon as Rite and Goddess make character swaps. Goddess going to go on over to the Sidra. We know from last weekend that Kyler Alice really struggled against the cannon. This might be the thing the blue team needs to take down Kyler Alice.
Now, we haven't seen too much cannon today. It's been a couple Onyx picks, and really that's kind of it. A Zol pick here and there, but not as much as I would have expected. But still, Goddess picking up...
Pugsy was on the Sidra, right?
Who? Oh, yeah, Pugsy was on the Sidra. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I would have expected a lot more Sidra going into this. But we did see a lot of Hattori. We usually see a regular amount of Hattori, but especially now, a ton of Hattori in these games.
Yeah, Hattori just a very solid 2v2 pick with that weapon kit, neutral, both the sword and spear, fantastic for setting up, and having that high movement speed makes it really easy to follow up off of the teammate. We're going to see that Kyler Alice, finally the first one to fall for the red team.
Now, I wonder if Rite's going to try to go under this stage.
Oh, no.
Oh no! That went from bad to worse. Now Kyler... somehow, something about this game specifically, Kyler's on his final stock, and Rite is the one surviving better, but still worse than Shadoww and Goddess.
Shadoww and Goddess still sitting on their first stocks. Fantastic movement coming out from the cannon of Goddess. Downlight connects onto Shadoww, but this is Shipwreck Falls, wide kill boxes. Rite finally finds the knockout with the downlight into the recovery. But that's just going to be the first stock off of this blue team. Second one might follow soon. Team combo in the middle of the map, but Kyler Alice doesn't follow up.
Sidelight onto Goddess. Somehow she was able to still get back. Sig's coming out from both characters. Goddess ends up getting punished by Kyler. Gravity cancel, neutral Sig. That's going to be the dodge gone. You see him back up and get down low, expecting that anchor to come in from Goddess. Neutral Sig from Shadoww over on the corner.
Save.
That Nair stopping the gravity cancel, side
Saved
heavy.
him.
The GCD light going to get Goddess just enough to not fall into that down signature. It's 5 stocks to 2. Kyler is very close to being knocked out of this. It's a game 5 situation. We very well could have a reset on our hands.
And Goddess survived so long on that first stock. She was in charcoal as far as her health color went. Right on the left side, putting some good damage out. The anchor going to get past Rite, and now Rite has to do the 1v2 against the 4 stocks of this blue team. They can just go in. This is friendly 2's time.
You saw Goddess coming in with that tentacle, that trying to get that friendly tentacle to grab Shadoww.
Yeah. Like, I'll just put you back on the stage, right? Like, I get some active input on this tentacle. I can tell the Kraken not to do that.
All right.
She's just ground pounding. She got to get that battle pass mission, get ground pads. That's what I did. Just ground pound in the middle of the stage.
That's the dodge.
Good dodges. Goes for another. Rite's not having it.
Dominating. Yo. Rite dominating. That's 3 KOs on this final stock from Rite.
Yeah.
Rite coming in as the last stock legend here.
And the spot dodge inside of it, that neutral air, so much damage put out on Rite. Ooh, that could have been huge. Down Sig will do it. And that is going to be Shadoww and Goddess getting that reset. Board wiped clean. And it is now the final best of 5 for the Australian region.
That was kind of a sloppy 2v1, though. Like, of course
True.
you can say, okay, Goddess had 2 stocks, extremely red, maybe just wanted to meme a little bit with those ground pounds, inflict that in-game damage, inflict that mental damage on the opponent. But then, once that stock got taken away and Goddess was on final stock, you should have seen them come together and maybe play a little bit neater, a little bit cleaner, or just a regular 2v1 instead of kind of a little bit of a sloppiness that we just saw.
Yeah, I definitely feel what you were saying, but also I feel like Shadoww and Goddess, they're kind of players who like to have fun with it, right? There's that time where there's a time to be serious and do really well inside of the game, and then there's a time to just kind of play a little sloppy, just let things be loose, because there's a lot of pressure on the line, and sometimes when people let that pressure get to them, they start to crack, they start to crumble. And I think that is what we're seeing from Shadoww and Goddess, is that when they have such a huge advantage, they're like, all right, here's our time to relax a little bit inside of this set. We can pretty much close this out however we want. Might as well have a little bit of fun with it so that we can keep that mental on our side.
We're going to be moving on into the next game. Shadoww is getting water right now, so that is going to be a little bit of a roadblock before we move right into this. And Goddess coming in with the Sidra pick. No character swaps whatsoever. That Hattori serving Rite very well last game. We'll see if Shipwreck gets banned immediately.
So far, no bans immediately, as Island Alice and Rite maybe not as comfortable with this reset position, or Goddess and Shadoww are the first 2 to ban out, and Shipwreck is going to be left on the board, and that's going to be the pick for game number 1 in the reset of Grand Finals. Kyler, Alice, and Rite versus Shadoww and Goddess.
Speed stance coming out for Shadoww, taking 1 out of dexterity. Doesn't even worry about it, so that he can zoom across the stage faster. A true zoomer.
Well, we have seen that Dex is definitely less valued in 2v2s of all places, because you have somebody who can cover all of your risky moves, can cover your recovery frames. So I do not blame Shadoww for putting into something a little bit more valuable in the 2v2 scape, at the very least.
We see 2 axes on the field, 1 in Kyler's hand, 1 in Shadow's hand. Shadoww taking some heavy damage this game, and Kyler's just going to turn around, hit the Sayer, gets out of the way of that anchor. That could have been a really clutch anchor from Goddess. Red team isn't able to turn it into too much yet.
Right now, though, Red team with a sizable lead, complete departure from the end of the last set, as the Red team very healthy, Rite the most damage on the team, but still healthier than Goddess, who is still on the first stock for this blue team. Kyler Alice with the down sig. Saw Goddess was going to be flying by and might as well throw out a big hitbox.
That's going to be a trade 1-for-1 there, but Shadoww, who is already behind, is nearing knockout damage. You see Kyler trying to juggle with those neutral airs. I think both members of the red team have their sights set on Shadoww, right? Right now it's Rite's turn.
Oh. Goddess is throwing out these risky anchors and is going to start getting punished for it. Rite does found...
What an interrupt!
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about.
From Kyler Alice.
Getting a little too predictable with it. Shadow's in trouble. Shadoww does find the wall. Will reset their jumps, but Shadoww and Goddess down to their final stocks. Kyler Alice not even looking to lose his first one anytime soon.
Ooh.
I saved. I'm right.
There's the D-Light there. Gravity cancel D-Light. Rite pulls out of that because he ended up hitting Kyler. As Kyler bounced into it.
Oh no, Shadoww!
Rite might be taking out Shadoww over on the right side. Shadow's able to recover back to the platform, grab an axe. Goddess put out some hits onto Rite. Went over to Kyler, got the knockout. Oh, gravity cancel neutral signature from Goddess.
I like that cannonball. Kyler Alice liking that end sig. Goddess is going to find the wall again, but Shadow's really bleeding out here. Kyler Alice could take out both of the blue team members in due time, as the side air might be enough. Shadoww. Goddess doesn't go for the save. Yep. Stomp side air will be game number 1, going the way of Kyler Alice and Rite.
Typically low damage numbers coming from everybody. 373, 247, 300. And then there's just Kyler Alice on the other side, putting out 683. Did more than the entire blue team combined. Kyler proving game after game that he is a complete workhorse on this Taros.
And did you see he only took 283
damage?
Really? And that was basically his first stock. So Kyler Alice really putting in work, but you got to give credit to Rite, right? Rite had a great save. Rite had another one where it was like a gravity cancel downlight. It was like a small save. It wasn't one where Kyler Alice was about to get exploded from the game or anything like that. But Rite's really doing a really good job after swapping over to the Hattori.
Oh, both weapons actually being grabbed by the blue team as we go onto Crystal Temple. There is a spawn on the field. Rite's going to grab it. Kyler's going to have to go all the way to the right side of the stage if he wants it. Meanwhile, on the left side, it's probably good that Rite grabbed this first weapon as Rite already picked up a double D-Light onto Goddess.
That is some good damage to start off with. We're on the right side. Goddess trying to maintain this gauntlet pressure. Kyler Alice is doing so incredibly well with this axe, though. As the nairs start to come out, Shadoww finds the recovery to finish off the first stock of Kyler Alice. Ooh. Great follow-up from Goddess. A little bit too slow on the down sig. But man, that was
that was really solid. Just the timing and being able to pick that up in the moment, especially because it continued through the soft platform.
No.
Kyler having even rougher of a game than he did previously as he's already on his final stock, less than a minute into the game.
I expect this map to never be played again against Goddess and Shadoww because they are just so incredible on this map.
This is looking like already a game for the blue team. That's going to tie up the set between them. Goddess falling on the first stock. Shadoww might be soon. Oh no, the GC D-Light doesn't reach, and then the D-Light from Rite didn't reach either. The side stick from the right side of the stage is going to take out this stock, but Rite is very damaged.
Nice. The follow-up from Kyler. You saw him jumping, getting ready. He saw the double downlight, so he jumps again, trying to get in position, finds the N-Sig for extra damage onto Goddess. Rite the most damage, but Goddess going to get launched as she returns back onto the stage. Another sider, and Goddess is gone.
Shadow's second stock just completely got worked. He was pinballed back and forth between members of the red team, and even Goddess helped out a little bit and put some damage on him too. Kept him in that for even longer. Shadoww already in the red on the second stock. Meanwhile, Rite just being knocked out on the second stock was in red for a considerable amount of time. Stomp there from Kyler, the turnaround nair. Putting the damage onto Goddess, sending to the right, getting the knockout onto Shadoww off the top.
So if the red team wins this, you got to give credit to Kyler Alice for extending this final stock. He went down to that final stock very early, but has been able to get that extension, get more damage out. You see the downlight. Oh, picked up everyone and then just dropped it. That would have been huge for the red team.
But Kyler was also in that, so it might not have led to the knockout onto Goddess, and it definitely would have led to the knockout onto Kyler. I'm a little bit curious, since he didn't go for the end of it, for that third hit, why did he go for the second D-Light after he already picked up Kyler? Maybe he just kind of had that like mid-second decision change of like, oh, I'm going to go for this and get everyone. Oh, yo, nice turnaround.
Yo. Okay. That was a good turnaround on his way out. I think that was just like habit from Rite. Maybe we've seen him hit quite a few of those double downlights, so maybe just like instinctively went for the second one. It was neat that it picked up Shadoww with it, but of course Rite finally had that kind of like, oh, I should pull out of this. Unfortunately, red team is going to fall on that one, and that's going to put us at 1 apiece in the reset.
So we've already had double resets today. Are we going to have double losers bracket winners today? It's certainly possible the way Shadoww and Goddess are playing after tying up that game, but a lot of that game, it was pretty close in the end. It was yellow to red in terms of damage on the final stocks. If you take away Kyler Alice dying super early, which that's something you cannot count on every single game, because you see in some of the other games what Kyler's able to do going back onto Shipwreck. This is still definitely a very live set, even though Goddess and Shadoww just won and they've already gotten the reset.
This can definitely go either direction. Of course, like you were saying, Kyler Alice did lose a stock very early in that last game, but at the same time, he was able to extend his last stock so incredibly long. And that's something that I think we're going to see here in game number 3 is Kyler Alice really just extending his stocks.
Ooh, Rite's not getting into the red. Goddess is pretty close.
Nice side sig.
Fantastic side signature from Goddess to get that knockout. Stomp side air.
Shadoww didn't get the jump input.
Oh.
Nice ground pound.
Oh.
Another one.
Yo!
Rite with the reprieve does find some help for Kyler Alice, and Kyler Alice is going to get the stock extension. Down air. Shadow's in trouble.
And Rite did that without the weapon advantage, which is huge there. Great execution, great understanding from Rite to be able to relieve the pressure off of Kyler, keep him alive on his first stock, at least for a little while longer, so he was able to put out more damage. Rite and Goddess are pretty close to one another. Rite's now in the orange while Goddess is still in the yellow. Kyler without a weapon, one spawn's coming in. Oh no, the hammer nair ends up hitting Rite, and Goddess hits back-to-back signatures onto Kyler.
The Goddess is throwing out all these signatures, and they're all connecting on to Kyler Alice. Big damage starting to be put out here. Rite gonna get taken out by the neutral signature. Kyler Alice finds the side signature. This one is gonna be very close to the final stop.
I'm telling you, those signatures are the Wu-Shang difference in this game. Hitting so many of those in clutch situations.
Yeah, you're seeing Goddess really start to bust out those signatures in all sorts of positions. It's been 2 signatures so far to finish off each of Rite's stocks.
Oh,
interrupt. Oh, you saw Rite actually delay. You saw him spot dodge, expecting the interrupt from Goddess. Kyler Alice does find the side air, though. Red team has the advantage.
Oh.
Goddess is in trouble. Goddess might be gone. Oh. Another down air. Shadoww trying to give the help, but the neutral signature, and Goddess does find footing finally.
Rite's out. Kyler's got some room to run, though. It's not going to take much to knock out Goddess.
Oh, no.
You see it right there. All it took was that side air. Didn't even need the 2 hits of the stomp setup. This is looking like a red team game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, okay.
Tero's brain kicked in a little bit there, but it's all right because he's got such a huge stock advantage. Yeah, he's fine.
But axe side sig,
not even
dude.
Worried. Oh. Yo, it goes far.
Yeah, but
like if it picks up, it goes far before the launch, which is massive. Big side air. Shadoww still can't get the
that
stop.
relies on if it picks up.
All right. Yeah.
Which is a big if. One of the biggest ifs.
Yo, but if it does.
Amber coming in. Consistent kill options.
I don't know what you're looking for with that, bro.
He's just looking for something. Oh!
Yeah, he's like, hopefully this works. Big scoop up from Kyler Alice. We'll put another one on the board for the red team. And they are now 1 game away of closing out the grand finals for the Australian region. For Low Tier City, the mid-season championship.
Now, Kyler, like, based on that 5 KOs, 653 damage, like, he's kind of a coin flip Andy right now, where he'll have a great game, and then you flip that coin, and it could be a bad game, and then you flip that coin again, and it could be a great game.
Is that another Naruto?
No, that's just a saying.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
You don't watch the Twitch that I watch.
All right, my bad. Goddess, though, not going to be a coin flip Andy, as she's going to be Sidra for game number 4. Did that work? Was that good? Did I do it right?
I mean, kind of. Just the nature of the saying. Not really.
Game number 4. Goddess gets the home turf advantage, as it's going to be Shipwreck as the map pick. Kyler Alice, though, looking so incredibly clean, and Rite's been really good at being there to support Kyler Alice.
So one of the biggest things I'm worried about is just more crazy anchors from Goddess that are consistently not working. Being a real anchor Andy.
Is that a saying that people say? Oh,
just in anything Andy.
Big side sig. Nice save from Goddess. Gets them both out of trouble. Kyler Alice finds the recovery, though damage is still very much in the red team's favor. Shadoww backing far away. Anchor comes out. Goddess is there to maybe help, but can't find it. There's the anchor, and Goddess gets the ground pound. Stock count is even.
Now, on that first anchor that was sort of above the stage a little bit, that wasn't even a whack anchor, and Goddess still got punished for it. Goddess is just kind of really unlucky with the anchors.
Oh, yeah, okay, that one was unlucky. Never lucky with that anchor, as Shadoww finds the down air onto his teammate. Goddess still extending this first stock, though. You can see how incredibly damaged he is. Shadoww finds a side sig. This one is close again in these second stocks.
It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade, 4 stocks to 4. Shadoww, though, taking the most damage so far in the game. That's going to burn the dodge. Oh, no! Rite gets interrupted by the main platform. Of course, Rite wanted to go down on the edge. That was already the dodge burned from Shadoww. Kyler did find the kill over on the left side.
Goddess.
Yeah, that's real Anchor Andy coming in. Not what you want to see, especially not when it's working or when it's not working.
Yeah, especially when it's definitely not working. It worked kind of once when she was able to convert it into a ground pound, but other than that, she's getting a little too greedy with those, and the red team is taking full advantage of it. This is not the place you want to be doing that kind of stuff when you are one game away from letting the other team win. Nice pickup with the neutral air, though, from Goddess, and suddenly the blue team has the stock advantage.
That's giving me vibes from the Simba follow-up that we saw earlier. We came in with the ground pound on the edge. Oh, Goddess with a huge string.
That's that cannon. This is giving confidence to the blue team. Side light, side air, left side. Goddess going to try to help out Shadoww. Shadoww does find the wall touch, just barely gets past it. Kyler Alice finds the side air. This could be bad for the blue team as it's left to Goddess in the 1v2. She has to find the knockouts or else it is going to be Kyler Alice and Rite going home the victors of low tier city.
What are you doing?
Really?
What are you doing? So, like, Rite is, I think, just turning red now. So I think there's considerable room for him to go before he's going to get knocked out by Goddess, especially with a sword in the hand on this map.
Punish?
Nice toss.
Oh, never lucky.
Aiming with that neutral signature, honestly, an anchor there might have been the choice.
Don't say it. Don't say that.
This could be.
Avoiding the weapon tosses, but Kyler Alice finds it. That's going to be Kyler Alice and Rite winning it 3-1 in the grand finals. Reset to be the Australian low tier city doubles champion.
Look at Kyler's
What was your thing about
numbers.
Yeah,
5 KOs, 856 damage. I can't even count that high.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, really well done from both red team members. Rite just playing the perfect support. It's kind of like you said with regards to Remy, where when they do everything right, it's like they did nothing at all. And Rite, after the swap to the Hotori, you saw him extending stocks, not only for himself, but for Kyler Alice as well. Using that movement speed to go over there and save the teammate. Keep Kyler Alice